Jennifer lived with us till she was 29 years old, and we have a very small family, and our son is in another state, and so I felt like that it would be really good if Jennifer moved out. It wasn't that we, wanted to get rid of her, but I also was hoping it would be her choice. And we had a Medicaid case manager at that time who said, you really should sign Jennifer up for Section 8 because it's really hard to get, and there have been waiting lists, and it probably won't happen for a long, long time. So at that time, Jennifer had a helper that she was just very good about taking Jennifer out in the community and doing things. So we started thinking about, well, she's going to move out. We need to find out where there are places to move and, where she would like to live. So this lady took her, I knew some people who had apartments already. So we asked them if Jennifer and this lady could come and visit. And so they went around and looked at apartments, took some pictures outside of the apartment complexes so Jennifer could remember what was where. And suddenly, Jennifer started getting an interest in moving out, and she said she did want to move. And the Section 8 housing voucher came up quicker than we thought, and so that's kind of how it evolved. And I remember my husband had said for years, oh, well, Dixie really doesn't want to move Jennifer out, but we really should. And so when the time came, we didn't have a lot of time to use the voucher, if I remember right. We either had to use it or had to go back to the bottom of the wait list, and it was something like 60 days, which seemed like a big rush at that time. And Jennifer really wanted to move, so she kind of pushed it, and we did it, and she was very excited. And I think it was a bigger transition for me and Terry than it was Jennifer in a way. So she found an apartment. It was where she chose to live, and we did it. And at that time, they had just really started getting a lot more Medicaid waivers. She'd had one for about a year and a half, but so they were moving a lot of people out. And I felt like we were kind of a guinea pig again in a way because she, I know the first couple months, it was really hard. There were a lot of helpers in and out. We stayed a couple of nights to see what it was like with her. And it was, I think, a big move for everybody. And I think it was kind of new to the agencies to have so many people moving out into apartments. The nice thing about Jennifer being in an apartment is she's very social. And after the bad neighbors moved away, she became friends with a couple of other ladies. And there was one summer where they would sit out on their little patio and do their nails, and they had coffee together, and she just really enjoyed it. So she likes, the socialization of neighbors when things are good. I think she adjusted better than we did when she moved, but we were nervous, and we were nervous about, we lived out in the country, and Jennifer was moving to town, so, and in an apartment complex in a college town, so we were sort of wondering how that would go, and, if she would sleep well, and what the neighbors would be like, and everything. But I think, you have those concerns with a child without disabilities, too. And I think, in a way, Jennifer was more protected by having her helpers than, our son when he moved out, But we were anxious about it.